signature win, question mark. Either way, did that win say more about the Celtics, down Brown and Porzingis, or more about the Sixers, who couldn't beat the Celtics, down Brown and Porzingis?
If I have to pick, I mean, I'll get to like my one main takeaway in a minute, but if I have to pick between those two, it probably says more about the Sixers to me because they played everybody. I was kind of stunned that Embiid actually played, considering he was dealing with the hip after the Pacers game. It sounded like he was going to be questionable. And once you heard Porzingis and Brown were out, I was like, well, they're going to match this, and Embiid's not going to play. So he played. So, I don't think a back-to-back's an excuse. Their first quarter, once Maxey was sat, they didn't hit a bucket for like 5 straight minutes. They doubled Embiid. They looked like they were going to get blown out. They fought back. They looked a little tired to start, but they fought back. They were in it. So I still think the Sixers are kind of dogs. It tells me more about them than anything else.
They had a full complement except for Kelly Oubre, who is a pest to the Celtics. He got hit by a car.
Or didn't.
Ish. Something.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make an Oubre joke. I got hit by a car. You did? Well, okay, maybe not.
Well, we've seen the video, and there's no car. Who's to say?
Well, that's the Sixers. So maybe maybe we haven't gotten completely. I think the Sixers are more dangerous than they've been in the past. But maybe they just can't shake the whole clown show thing with Kelly Oubre. Either way, no, I thought it was a good win for the Celtics.
It was.
I mean, really, I think a lot of important guys played really well for you. I think Derek White is a badass.
He's a Sixers killer. He always usually goes off when they play him. He was 7-12 last night, 27 points, 5 assists, 2 steals. He was all over the floor, back and forth. I thought he was great. And Al Horford, I thought he was like hysterical. It was like that game against Milwaukee in the playoffs a few years ago. Like dad strength, I'm going to body you both ends. Al Horford hates the Sixers in Philadelphia type of nights. I thought it was wildly entertaining to watch him last night.
Yeah, so Derek White picked him apart. Horford, easily his best game of the year in his biggest role of the year. And I think that the conjunction of Embiid, playing the night before, being a little banged up, and Horford being on him was a big difference.
Yeah,
Horford just plays him better.
I also couldn't help notice, again, I enjoyed watching Al Horford's night, but I did find it a tad curious because again, it's his biggest role so far this season. Whereas he's been coming off the bench, he looks old or uninterested, and as I posed to Jimmy, say, Jimmy, maybe you've heard something about Horford and maybe being a little bit disgruntled, and he kind of couched that. So, I don't know. That just kind of stuck out to me watching that game. Like, more minutes for Al Horford, more engaged Al Horford. Something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, sure. Something like that. Who else was it? Oh, and I thought Jrue Holiday was big for you early on.
Yeah.
I think he just set the tone, as he tends to do. And it was sort of a physical mismatch there at points. He knew when he had Maxey on him or, one of those other smaller guards, he'd back him down, put his ass into him. And that was it. And he sort of knew without Brown, without Porzingis, it was more on him offensively, and he knows exactly what to give the game. That's why he's such a great team player. And so, like, all that, it's a good win for you. It probably says more about you than it says about the Sixers.
Yeah, I don't want to, again, if I had to pick, I went with the Sixers because, again, they played everybody. They still lost, and I just think that there's a Sixers thing there, even though they have better players, they're better coached and all that. I don't want to discredit what the Celtics did. That was a good win for them.
So, right now, I think the Sixers are the second team in the East. I think the Sixers have looked so much better than the Bucks, who I've watched a bit, and I've watched the Sixers a bit. And the Bucks are not right. The Giannis Lillard thing is not right. They won last night, and Lillard went off. What did he finish with? And he finished with 37, but he had like 35 like midway through the third quarter, and they just coasted, something like that.
37 last night.
Yeah, so Lillard but Giannis didn't play. The previous couple of games, Giannis was going off. Scored 50 in a loss in Indiana, scored a triple-double the next night, but Lillard didn't play. Or Lillard did nothing. Lillard, the last game they both played together, Lillard, I think, was 2 of 17 from the floor, something like that, 3 of 17. They can't figure out how to play together. I don't think Giannis knows how to play with other players. I just think
come to this realization.
He's just a singular freight train. Give me the ball with the head of steam, and that's what he is. And he doesn't really know how to do anything else. So, like, and apparently, I was hearing last night that the Bucks have already had to change up their whole defensive system because this new coach came in and tried a new defense, and they were playing no defense. And then they said, all right, F it, go back to what Budenholzer was doing. And the Bucks are kind of a mess. The Lillard-Giannis thing's not working right now. And so,
Well, further proof that the conference should be the Celtics, right?
Oh, my God.
And they absolutely should end up the 1 seed in the East.
clearly should be the Celtics. I mean, I think the gap is widened from what it was, and I don't know what the gap was. You over the Heat, you over the Bucks, whatever it was last year, whatever, it's wider than it was last year. And so, I do think the Sixers are your toughest competition right now.